You're going to love this. Silver closed out at $7.93. In the aftermarket, hit $7.94, $7.95, a little bit under $8. Gold closed out at $427, meaning $427. And then we have the other issues that are kind of fascinating. Platinum's back up to $910, and palladium's been trading between $290, $295. So I want you to know that there are rumors that Alan Greenspan has had a heart attack. It's only a rumor. If that rumor proves to be true, I can bet I'll say this, I'll bet my house and yours too that things will get really wild. When gold went up the last time and jumped out of its pretty narrow range into the $400 from 320 to 350, 380, 390, it was during that period when the Treasury Secretary was out and a new one was coming in. So, ladies and gentlemen, if it is true, we are going to see some very exotic movements in the market. So for those of you that probably want to get in at silver, silver could trade back down 25 to 50 cents. Look, go and read my metals critique, if you will, or overview on the front page of my website daily. It's not updated daily. I only update it when I know something. We come back from the break. I want to read you a lying offer for $20 gold pieces that one of my listeners sent me, and the guy's telling them to get rid of your worthless silver. Well, worthless silver has outperformed $20 gold pieces by a factor of 100%. If I'm a dealer and crooked charging you $120 over the spot price of gold for a gold coin, that means you can't even break even until gold hits 520. On the other hand, if you're buying silver at spot and you're absolutely watching it go up 100%, which was the better advice? We come back, everyone. I'll read you a unique and unusual email. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the antidote for reality deficit disorder. And I want to read this email from one of my friends, one of my supporters, and he said this: "Hi, Steve. I haven't emailed you in a while. Hope you and your family are doing all right. This morning, I got a call from Discount Gold and Silver. They called to tell me how much money I'd gained on some gold I had purchased from them 2 years ago. They were trying to get me to sell back some silver and put it into $20 gold. Listen to this load of crap. They said there's a glut of silver on the market right now. They also said that they've only sold one bag of silver all this month because nobody is buying it, ! Well, the reason why no one's buying silver from Discount Gold and Silver is because they're trying to sell their $20 gold pieces, and again, it's the same old story. Now listen to this. Then why is he wanting to buy my worthless silver? Ha ha. He said he expects a 50% correction of silver. He knows darn well that silver is a steal even at these recent highs. That's why he's calling people and trying to talk people into converting this silver into $20 gold. Remember when the boys at Midas tried to do that, and they were saying I was full of crap at $4.50 and it was going to crash? Silver was going to crash into $3? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the rest is history. We're now at $8 silver, within a nickel of $8 silver. Let me share this with you. He said, I like this guy, but and I've done business with him several times, but now I won't do business with him anymore. Any future mail order purchase of gold or silver I will send your way. And he says this, I'm still laughing. He actually said there's a glut of silver and no one is buying it. I asked him if he had ever heard of Ted Butler, and he kind of changed the subject. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me share this with you. Today, and I'm actually, how do I say this? I am so amazed that people still will buy the lie of the precious metals dealers who sell rare coins. But I want to read to you what I put on for those of you that don't have a computer. So I'll read to you my metals alert. Now, again, listen to me and take what I say and make it a matter of prayer, make it a matter of investigation. But what I'm amazed at is some of the people that have never been in silver have become experts on it. I've been at it for 30 years, and I used to play in the futures market, which I no longer do. I play in the physical futures market, which is totally different than that. But here's this. Silver just hit $7.93 an ounce. The $8 level will be breached in the next couple of days. As stated previously, once the $8.50 level is reached, expect silver to start making 50-cent moves both ways. Platinum, once again, is in the $910 range, and gold is at $427. Palladium is $290, $295. Precious metals are ready to soar. Remember, you are acquiring precious metals as insurance for the long run, so don't panic if you see volatility or pullbacks in the price of precious metals. Now, I talk to the big guys. No offense, and I don't mean this to even sound egalitarian in any way, shape, or form, but these guys who are bad-mouthing silver in the sandbox, the guys I deal with trade billions with a B dollars of metals a year, okay? And I will put, again, anybody that wants to debate me, I'll leave this open to any of you out there in la-la and li-li land. If you want, we'll get a third-party moderator through another show so I can't determine who's going to say what when, and we'll talk about it. And you guys be blatantly honest with your listeners. And also, I want you to be able to produce paperwork in the debate, and we'll put it up on our websites, showing somebody who made money that's real. And then don't forget, I'll take your invoices that I have in my possession, and I'll put them up on the website, and I'll show people what you're saying versus what they're getting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if the metals business doesn't police itself, we're going to have so much nonsense and oversight and rules and regulations that it's going to be just absolutely abhorrent. So this is why I keep saying this. Now, here's what I'm being told. And again, I'll put up who I talk to and what I know against anybody out there. Listen to this. So you're going to see a volatility or pullbacks in the price of precious metals. My sources say physical silver is being purchased as fast as checks can be written. Again, when you establish business relationships with 25 or 30 years with different individuals who are world players in this ball game, you can get to know who you can trust and who you can't trust. And all I can tell you is this, is that when I'm being told by the guys who are the market makers how much silver is going out. Let me give you a good example. Today you can buy a bag of junk silver, I think about $6,000. Remember when I was advertising them for $4,700 a month ago? That bag of junk has been as high as $40,000 in 1980. That was when silver was $50 an ounce. You want to bet what they'll be at $100 to $200 an ounce? And for those of you who are worried about confiscation, guess what? Because it's legal tender, I don't think the confiscation people are going to confiscate dimes, quarters, and halves. Now, here's the deal. People don't get in their minds and still can't reference that this is the end of the age. It is going to be the most extreme invasion of privacy. It's going to be the end of the Bill of Rights. It's the end of the Constitution. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but ladies and gentlemen, Louisiana, I think it's the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, has just voted, and basically it's law now, and it becomes precedent, that police can enter a home without a warrant. There goes the Fourth Amendment. Is there something in the Constitution about unreasonable search and seizure? Duh. You know, let me share this with you, and please, this may be offensive, and it's meant to be. Those of you who still believe that the Constitution has guarantees, the Bill of Rights are still real, wait until your constitutional guarantees are violated or your rights taken away from you. See, again, the silent majority is going to be definitely dumb and ultimately dead. Let me say that again. The silent majority is going to be deafeningly dumb and definitely dead. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what lying sack of caca, horse manure, sewage gets on and makes promises. No one in the political realm can live up to the promises they make. It's physically impossible. Our debt is exploding. There is a concerted effort by the Russians and Chinese and others to destroy us economically. Oh, sure, you don't understand this, but given with the presence of, I would say this, very wealthy individuals in the markets, they can now beat us at our own game. This is why it's so important that you get it. You really do get it. Look, it's not a question of taking your gold away, first and foremost. It's a question of taking your life away. That's the issue. So, again, for those of you that want to sit home, watch satellite TV, have a beer or whatever, a toddy or a tonic for the chronic, let me say this. The day will come when the beer won't flow. Let's say this, the Seagram 7 won't be there, at least at the prices you know today, and then you'll have to ask yourself, look, what did I do to even try and make a difference? And you know what? You'll come up short. You did nothing. And it's amazing to me, by the way, that there are so many exceptional writers out there. But again, the frustration of doing a radio show like this or writing, the most, let's say, telltale book out there on what's getting ready to happen in the world is very frustrating. Then having written, and I'm talking about God, writing the Bible, the ultimate end-time roadmap, and people just kind of taking that part of it, especially the the parable of the 10 virgins of Matthew 25, they just don't want to apply it to their life. They want to sit around and sing stupid songs like it only takes an ember to keep a fire going, or other ridiculously religious nonsense tunes that feel good. You might as well just sing Kumbaya as the devil marches you before the guillotines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very interesting and perilous time. Now, when I say the word interesting, I mean it in the sense of perplexing, disconcerting, a disheveled time. In other words, everything is tumultuous and in an upheaval. Yet, hey, the band plays on and the party goes on. We have a new store in Bozeman now, and it's something about perpetual parties or party favors, and stuff. And I guess I don't understand modern America as well as I thought I did. Except then I remembered that I'm the one that kind of used a strange word in Latin called, we had the Circus Maximus in the Roman days. Now we have the Circus Ridiculous in the last days or the end times. So anyway, we've got a full three-ring circus going on in the area of politics, religion, and finance, okay? A total scam. And the elephants are ready to stampede. The lions and tigers and bears are ready to get out of the cage. They haven't been fed for 50 years, and guess who's looking awful good to them right now? And the clowns in their makeup are only keeping you occupied so that the animals that were let out of the cage can come and take you out in one bite. And you can use that metaphor to whatever extreme you want to take it. We are at a very unusual time period. Now, I want to go to a story that Hamas and Hezbollah have signed a cooperation accord. Doug McIntosh, and by the way, would someone send Doug an email? Any of you time bombers out there listening to my broadcast, would you send Doug an email and tell him to call me tomorrow on the toll-free line? It's the last day it's up, 1-800-424-7870, or have him email me where I can call him at a phone. I want to talk to him about, number one, bringing him on as a guest, but I also want to talk to him about publishing his book for him on Ezekiel. He's done an excellent series of essays. We put one chapter up on my front, maybe two chapters up on my front website. But if any of you have Doug McIntosh's phone number or email, I don't have either, would you please get a hold of him and tell him to call me tomorrow at the toll-free number, or he can call me up at the regular number. He can call collect, because I want to talk to him about publishing his book for him. Doug McIntosh, in my opinion, he gets a lot of crap. He goes by the name Doomer Doug, is probably one of the brightest men out there that has been overlooked for too long. He and I do not agree on everything, but I can tell you this. I not only respect brilliance and admire it, I am absolutely convinced that he understands economics better than some of the PhDs that have written about it and misunderstood it all their lives. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to be bringing you a couple of interviews with Doug. Doug is well-informed. I love his cynicism. He can say it like no one else can say it. And so, again, anybody out there, those of you that post on Time Bomb, would you get a hold of Doug for me, please? And that's the only way I know how to track him down. Now listen, Hamas, Hezbollah signed cooperation accord. Hamas and Hezbollah have signed cooperation accord that paves the way for increased Shiite funding to the Palestinian insurgency group. The accord was signed on Monday in Beirut by Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah and Hamas Politburo Chief Khalid Mashal. Arab diplomatic sources said the agreement included a Hezbollah pledge to increase financial and operational assistance to Hamas. Over the last few months, Hezbollah has been making increasing inroads in Hamas. The sources said Hezbollah has provided hundreds of thousands of dollars to Hamas over the last year and intends to increase funding in 2004. They said the Hezbollah funding has been ordered and coordinated by Iran, which sponsors the Beirut-based insurgency group. Hamas has also sent operatives for training in Hezbollah camps in Lebanon and Syria. The two groups have also planned operations against Israel, including a suicide strike on the Israeli port of Ashdod earlier this month, in which 10 Israelis were killed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got basically Iran. What Iran is trying to do is quite coordinately and basically take out Israel before Israel can take them out. We have a 21-day window that I think is unusual from the fact it hasn't existed. And again, Iraq found out that the Israelis were serious about the nuclear powered reactor at Osiris when the Israelis blew it up. Interestingly enough, some of you may not know this, but that specific pilot was the one that was killed on the space shuttle. For conspiracy people, you can probably put two and two together really easy. Okay, so we've got now a situation where we've got Hezbollah and Hamas basically surrendering their indifferences, or excuse me, their differences and their indifferences to Iran. Iran's trying to flank Israel, and it will be fascinating to see if truly Iran possesses the nuclear weapons I'm told they possess. It's not will possess, they already possess. Then it would not be too much to expect a cruise missile attack on Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, and obviously the Israelis have much better intelligence. So again, what I'm trying to get you to see is that as the window closes ever so more carefully, we come that much closer to peril. To make it clear, somebody sent me an email. No, I'm not saying I'm going off the radio, Bob. I was just saying that I want to thank everybody ahead of time, because there will be a day I'll be off the radio with a book that I'm putting out with all my photographs in it that are, will show you just how incredibly beautiful this planet is, and hopefully it will cause you to remember that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and God says in His holy word that He will destroy those who destroy the earth. These guys are all tunneling and burrowing, getting set, and I can tell you that even though they run to the clefts of the rock, I'm talking about the Illuminists, the Satanists, and every IST out there, they will not escape the judgment of God. They better learn a little bit about plate tectonics to realize that there ain't no place safe when God says, hey, I'm looking for you. It's going to be a whole different series of events. And I think it's imperative and important that we get to the realization that this stuff is coming upon us faster than you can imagine. How about this? A new story on suitcase nukes. I've been told I'm full of the S word so long, and then I challenge anybody that tells me that, including some of the spokesmen for the CIA, understanding that that's the position they had to take at one point. But listen to this. This is by Doug Soroka, and it's fascinating. Suitcase nuke fears present a stern test for defense experts. Homeland Security officials are rushing defense labs to make sensors that can detect small nuclear weapons that some authorities fear terrorists might use to devastate a U.S. city. A March 22nd Australian TV report highlighted the need. The story claimed the Al-Qaeda terror group has bought nuclear briefcase bombs on the black market in Central Asia. Use of the word briefcase sent a shudder through security authorities everywhere. It would mark a huge threat if nuclear bombs that small were developed, let alone in dangerous hands. Almost all experts doubt briefcase bombs exist. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the inventor of the neutron bomb, Sam Cohen, who I interviewed, half a dozen times, doesn't deny they exist. General Alexander Lebed, Boris Yeltsin's national security advisor before he became governor of Siberia, who was murdered in Siberia when his helicopter was shot down, doesn't think so. Representative Kurt Weldon testifying before the Senate and House, Yablokov, let me see, Vasily Matrokin, the KGB archivist who defected, doesn't think they don't exist. These are guys that know what's going on. Suvorov and Lunev don't think that they don't exist. The leading Red Chinese head of the Chinese intelligence service who defected thinks they exist. And everybody that I've talked to who lives in the world of black ops or has ever been in that world says they exist. So who are you going to believe? See, okay, here I go on my soapbox. This is a schizophrenia that is present. It's keep us all off guard. Remember I started the show talking about the British Petroleum plant in Texas? And the British Petroleum plant in Texas, it wasn't even 1 minute. The minute the officials show up, the officials declare it not an act of terrorism. Well, on the other hand, prior to that, on the 25th of March, it's declared that this is the target. And I've been saying this for a long time, specific. One of my listeners, and I can't find her email, sent me 2 other Texas refineries that had proven acts of terrorism that were covered up. And it's just an amazing thing to me that, again, meaning the powers that be, can try and cover it up, but it gets out. It truly gets out. It's just amazing to me. Now listen to this. Here's a hi Jay in Prescott. Boy, I love Prescott. I went to I was going to move to Prescott one time, Arizona, and I went to the American Pistol Institute with a couple times down there with Jeff Cooper. Prescott's beautiful. He said, "Hi, Steve. Like your earlier emailer, I too have been seeing the number 11 everywhere during the last 6 months or so, especially the number 911. I smile when I notice the 911, which is almost every day, as I think the Lord is keeping me focused by this reminder on what is important and on preparation. I'm a CPA and represent a developer in the Phoenix area. The developer sent out an alert to his investors this week regarding the skyrocketing steel prices in our area due to the Chinese buying up every bit of steel they can find. Do you suppose the Chinese are trying to get whatever value they can out of their dollar holdings before the powers that be pull the plug on the U.S. economy?" Absolutely. Absolutely, Jay. He said, "I really enjoy your show and insight. Thank you very much." Here's the deal. If you've got paper, what are you going to use it for? Well, you and I both know that there's always one use of last resort, but that doesn't make a difference if you're wiping with 100 or with a 1. The point that these issues bring up, the issues of the Chinese, see, it's not just like that with the Chinese, it's everybody that's holding paper is trying to get out of the paper. It's like musical chairs. You know, I don't remember the song to it, but anyway, given the fact that everyone's dumping dollars, that ought to tell you something. Again, put this into perspective with Greenspan. I would say, I have not heard of him having a heart attack before. If he truly has had a heart attack, you have to ask yourself, what is different now? I mean, listen, maybe he's under a lot more stress than he can tell. Maybe the ghost of gold passed. By the way, Greenspan used to be a very, very outspoken gold bug. But maybe, how do I say this? He is now in a position, if he has had the heart attack, that might be signaling more than we grasp immediately. And I can tell you point blank that I think that is fascinating, that given the point in the economy we are, if I wanted to exit, I think I would exit stage left before the final curtain came down. So it's really important that we get this. Okay, Doug just sent me an email. He said, "Steve, mentioned that we are trying to activate the Intel Alert Forum. Please ask everyone to be patient." He said, "We're doing the best we can." He said, Laura, who's working on this with Doug, her computer is a key generator and her system is down being attacked by the Arab systems. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want you to understand something. We cannot express to you how much of what we put out in the private HQ Intel Alert is really frosting some cakes. This is why we check every email address. We do a lot of background checking, and all of you guys who are listening that have been with me, you are the people we want to have it. But we sure don't want Abdul and Rashid to get a hold of it. And again, obviously they may, but we're to the point now where you've got to just recognize that if you want the inside, you've got to order that HQ Intel alert. Give me a call tomorrow, 1-800-424-7870. Maybe your last chance to buy silver at under $8. And again, the challenge is out there. Good night, everybody, and I will be in touch with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.